getting fairly upset just by the reaction of people and their inability to seem to follow basic structure, its basic thought processes. The fact that so that's getting me crazy. Then we have the protests, the rallies, which I think for any thing that's right about it, and I think that inequality is a big issue, and all those things. Even that just screams of losing focus of the narrative. We're in the middle of a big fight right now. We're in the middle of a global fight with this non-living entity that's out to kill us. If it was another human that was in our midst that was sneaking around stabbing people, we would obviously know we should panic, but because we can't see it, it's an invisible enemy, so we'd rather fight with each other because that's a foe that we're used to fighting. And so we've completely lost track of what's going on. We're incapable of thinking, and I'm becoming infuriated looking around, and then you have the next few parashiot, which are almost perfect. So with that as the backdrop, I want to read the parashiot with the mitonenim, the incident with the silav, the case in Shalach, and we'll talk about it both from the perspective of a leader, which I think a lot of you are leaders, and I could see people like my grandfather are leaders or have been leaders, and then us who are future leaders, hopefully, and trying to understand it from both of those sides, and then also viewing ourselves both as the leader and as the person that makes the mistake, because I think we both probably in our lives do both of those. So that's just my introduction. Does anyone have any comments, though, or disagree with me in terms of just the way that I feel about the current situation? Because I would love to have someone tell me that I'm wrong and articulate an argument that I could agree with. No? Okay, fine. So yeah, that's that. All right, cool. So, go ahead. Mova?
I just said accept what you cannot change.
Right, so you don't agree with my getting upset about it. You think that I should accept, but in terms of the basic reaction, fine. All right, so let's read the story, and let's see. Someone want to read?
Yeah, I can read Mars. Hebrew
right,
or English?
Go for Hebrew.
ויהי העם כמתאוננים רע באוזני השם, וישמע השם ויחר אפו, ותבער בם אש השם, ותאכל בקצה המחנה. ויצעק העם אל משה, ויתפלל משה אל השם, ותשקע האש. ויקרא שם המקום ההוא תבערה, כי בערה בם אש השם.
So they have an incident. The nation is mitonenim, they're complaining, and so Hashem gets angry and he kills them. The nation cries to Moshe, and Moshe intervenes on their behalf and stops stops it. All right. Now, whether this is an introduction to the story, so it's like the summary, like a cliff notes, and then we'll get into the full story, maybe, or if these are two separate incidences, maybe that's I don't know. I just thought of that now, right? But this is like a quick summary, right? Story: the nation sins, Moshe intervenes on their behalf. Now the next story is going to look different, so let's see if we think they're the same or different stories. All right, continue.
והספסוף אשר בקרבה, והתאהבו תאווה, וישובו ויבכו גם בני ישראל, ואמרו מי אכילנו בשר? זכרנו את הדגה אשר נאכל במצרים, חינם את הקישואים, ואת האבטיחים, ואת החציר, ואת הבצלים, ואת השומים.
Great. So the Safsuf, they call it the riffraff here, some kind of group that's within them, starts to have this ta'ava, their craving, right? Ta'ava, we know what ta'ava is, right? Something that they crave. And they come and they cry and they say, who's going to give us meat? We remember in Egypt, we would eat meat for free, the melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic, the full palate that we used to eat. It was delicious. We loved it.
ועתה נפשנו יבשה, אין כל בלתי ואת המן איננו. והמן כזרע גד הוא, ואינו כעין הבדולח.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing here, the man, kizra gad. It doesn't sound that good. and habedolach, coriander, and the color was like bdellium. What color is bdellium? Does anyone know? Fine, but they complain about this man. Now nafshenu yebesha. Our life is yavesh. It's dry, right? Bayabasha. It's dry. It has no color here. This, they're in the desert also, and the man is kiziragad. I don't know if it's okay. Continue.
שתו העם ולקטו וטחנו ברכים או דחו במדוחה ובישלו בפרו ועשו אותו עוגות והיה טעמו כטעם לשד השמן.
And so the people would gather it, they'd grind it, they'd boil it, they'd make it into cakes, and it tasted like this cream.
וברדת הטל על המחנה לילה ירד והמן עליו.
And at night, the dew would fall. Okay, so I always love this. This is, I think, my favorite story in Tanakh. So I think it has to do with my own dealings with anger and stuff like that. But you have Bnei Israel. They were taken out of Mitzrayim. The miracles are done. They're in the desert. And they're subsisting on this diet of this man, which is a tremendous miracle. It's falling from the sky. It's unbelievable, right? But also, it doesn't taste that good. They told us in school that it tastes like whatever you wanted it to taste like. It probably didn't taste like whatever you wanted it to taste like. It tasted consistently like some kind of cake. It's not the worst taste in the world. It's a good taste to have 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. On the 15th day, though, it stops to be as appealing, right? It's not a great taste. And so Bnei Israel start to get upset. They say, we're sick of this man. We rather, in Mitzrayim, we would eat hinam, right? And always they ask, hinam, how could it be hinam? They were slaves. They worked all day and night, and served the food for this diet. So they say, hinam min mitzvah. It was free. They didn't have to do the mitzvah for it. Maybe that's what we would say. Or maybe what I think, how would you guys explain it? Why are they having this complaint?
They're bored of the same food. They want something different.
How could they say that it was free? It's not free. They had to work in Mitzrayim for the melons.
It wasn't free, for sure it wasn't.
Right, it wasn't free.
I brought this up in social psychology class today, actually. And we were talking about how people are like institutionalized within like the slavery to the point where they even will support it because they're like almost stuck in the system, and they want to believe like it's very hard to break yourself out of the mental slavery. Like it was easier back then. You didn't have to be self-sufficient. You didn't have to care about anything. You were free, as you said, of that burden. You just did as you were told, and you were fed. Now you're out in the wilderness, and there's risk. It's scary almost. You have to have faith in God and faith in yourself.
Love it. Yeah. So I have a similar idea that I usually say about this. There's this food that we eat when we go hiking. If you go on a long distance hike and you're going to be out in the wilderness for a few days, like Bnei Israel, right? You can't bring food with you. It's too heavy to put in your pack, right? So what do? What do we do? There's this food called soylent. What soylent is, it's this powdered food. It's made up of equal parts protein, fat, carbs. It's nice balance. It's not the healthiest thing that you'll ever eat, but it's not going to be poison or anything like that. It's solid. And so you bring this powder with you, and then you just put the water in it, and you drink it. Very simple. And you could get all 2,000 calories from that, and it's a solid, balanced diet. Great, right? It tastes like a cake, you'd say, a little sweet. It's not a bad flavor, right? And so you'll drink that for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days straight, right? And right away, you're going to start craving the solid food. You're going to want a little diversity of the flavor. You'll start having that experience. Now, the craziest thing about this soylent is that, guess how much money it costs per meal for soylent, for a 800-calorie meal? Anyone? Guess?
$20.
$20? Cost $1. $1 per meal. So if you ate it 3 meals a day, we're talking about $3 a day times 365 days, $1,000 for a balanced diet. If you want something a little healthier, they have Huel that's vegetarian based, $1,000 for all your food. $1,000. That's all of your food. So basically, you know how they ask you, oh, what do you do every day? You have to work, right? You have to work. You don't really have to work. There's no need to work. Food is basically free. $1,000 for all your food. You have to find somewhere to live. Okay, there's wilderness spots in the nature you can live anytime you want, free. So basically, it's free to live. Cost $1,000 a year. You know, maybe you need a couple of other supplies, right? And any of us have that option available to us tomorrow if we want it, right? And why don't we do that? Because, you know, we got to get the abatiyah from Uri. It's very soft. You know, if there are seeds, they're crunchy and they're even enjoyable to eat. You could get a good melon here and there. You know, it's delicious, the melon. But what do we pay for this lifestyle? Basically, full-time slavery. We were slaves to the lifestyle that we try to sustain. I've said this a lot of times. This is one of my primary messages, right? And so, because why? Why is it? Why does it have to be this way? Because the way that you get melon available at your beck and call is through slavery. It's the only way. You can't get a melon from the farm into your house at a price that is affordable unless everyone's slaves. It's just unrealistic. There's not melons growing everywhere. You know, you can't get pineapple on demand unless the entire society agrees to work full time for this lifestyle. And that's what happened in Egypt. That's what happens in America. You get beautiful fruit, but you have a populace that serves the capitalist system full time, and that's where we're at. So Bnei Israel was asked to step out from that, not permanently, and I'm not saying Hashem frowns upon this lifestyle, but temporarily they were asked to step out from it, and they had the reaction that we would have. We'd start crying right away. You know, let us go to Mitzrayim, let us go to America. We could work, we could have a beautiful melon, and we'll be thrilled and we'll be happy, right? But you don't need to work that hard. You could, well, what would I do without work? Right? And now we're having this reaction from a lot of people now, right? Unemployment, what would I do without work? That's man in the Garden of Eden. He had to work, right? So, you know, where in the best case scenario, you work, where do you work? Who are you supposed to serve? Avodah, you know, Avodat Hashem. You know, you have a job. You're busy. You're in the midbar. You should be serving God. So that's my little take there. Does anyone have anything to respond, to add to that? No, I got a quiet crowd tonight. This is as quiet as it gets.
I just wonder, like, how realistic it would be ever to leave that system. Like, you keep talking like it's, oh, you could just do it tomorrow, but you can't do it tomorrow. Like, I mean, unless you're willing to let go, which is, I don't think anyone, like, even physically did you like, if you went and did it, I think you would, like, break down. It's similar to this.
This is how man is. Exactly.
Yeah. We're not made for it. We've been so socialized into this system.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, maybe on an individual level, but if you took children and you raised them in a hunter-gatherer sort of style, then what is it? It's just their life. It's their nature.
Right, and maybe that's why Bnei Israel, he's not going to bring in the people that knew Mitzrayim. He's going to wait till the entire generation wipes out, and the people that go in are the ones that are born knowing desert, you know? And only from being born knowing, I think it's just you have to know that you could live that way. Then everything else becomes a choice. So I'm not willing to do anything for a melon because I know I could live without a melon. I'm not willing to do anything to have the food because I've lived without it. I know that it's a luxury, you know, as opposed to the way we're born in, where it's a necessity. What? I don't have the shoes that all the kids in my class have. I have to cry like crazy. I'm going to surely be ostracized, right? And that's the situation that we're in now. And it's definitely a tough galut that they have to be in. My wedding wasn't, they didn't have the lamb chops, only the meat platter. Oh no, everyone will know now that we were poor all along. But the wedding cost $80,000. They'll know. When I'm rich, I'm going to do real estate, and I'll be able to pay for the $100,000 wedding. Yeah, all right. So this is
It's an intense rant, Mars.
Yeah, this is. Do you disagree with my with how I see it? Let's see. We'll continue. I'm trying to channel. We'll continue.
Let the fire burn, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And Moshe hears the people crying. Moshe gets angry. We took him out. We know where we're going. We're trying to do this. Let's just do this. Let's leave that old way behind. Let's forget about the melon. You have them on. And he's angry. And finally Moshe turns to Hashem. This is Moshe's. I never saw a breakdown like this, you know. Why are you doing bad to me? And what did I do wrong to you? To put this entire burden on me. And this is the leadership component. Did I give birth? Is as if I had given birth to them. I was the one pregnant with them. That you should turn to me and say, to carry them. Just like a nurse would carry the child. Moshe's it's almost a collapse by Moshe's standards, right? This is the Moshe that has defended them time and time again. We're going to see Moshe in Parashat Shelach. Hashem's going to offer him, I'll make a new nation from your children, which that has to be the most alluring promise of all, right? And we'll get to that. But this is Moshe's return for a breakdown. Where am I going to get meat? I can't do it. And if this is what you're going to do to me, kill me. Kill me now. I don't want to continue to do this.
So it's interesting because like we look at Hashem as this all-knowing father figure, and we consider him the parent. But in this case, it feels like something that happens in my house. Like my younger sibling says something ridiculous, and I freak out, almost like Hashem. Like, what? You can't handle it. Why can't you handle it? It's just a sneaker. It's a piece of food. And then Moshe here is like the parent. Maybe not. Maybe my parent isn't as dramatic as Moshe saying "kill me now," but in that similar line, like, bro, you can't talk to someone like this. You have to give them benefit of the doubt. You have to do this. You know, it feels like it's a shift from the way that we usually see Hashem.
Yeah, I love that. It's anger from leadership when it sees that again and again man is this way, that there's this quest to make man godlike, to turn him into a spiritual being, that he could subsist on a diet of less. And God took them out for this purpose. And then to feel the consistent reminder that man is as man is, you know? And I don't know, it's a very interesting moment for Moshe, to say the least. I know the feeling from the leadership perspective. I know it. And I also know what it's like to be the one who whines for the thing in the flip, where in my relationship with God, you know, things go bad for a little bit and I'm like, oh, the world is terrible. Even Moshe's reaction is a little bit like the people in a certain sense, that he becomes, falls prey to it, right? That they, and this isn't even the craziest thing, they ask for meat, right? And all of a sudden Moshe finally, he even gives up. I think, I don't think that Moshe is right. Does anyone think that Moshe is right?
It's very interesting, Morris, because it's like when I read that, when I heard it the first time and then even reading it this week, it was just like, is he able to really say that and mean that? You know, because like Moshe is so powerful that everything he kind of does and says is supposed to be meaningful. Does he really mean that? So then it's like God is not really in a quarter, so to speak, but it's just like Moshe is like the best person God could ask for. So I guess God just deals with it, right? Like at what point does God, you know, treat him not as an equal, but just deal with him as a regular person? So I don't know. I guess it's just it's overanalyzing it too much because he's frustrated, you know.
It's one of the breaks. It's like hitting the rock, and this one are the two breaks that we see in him, right?
And then you see God give in, so I like that part.
Right, God's not angry at him. If even Moshe is snapping, then maybe it has been too far. He pushed him, right?
It's like, what other standard will God measure people? Yeah, I guess. And just give in.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that Moshe did anything wrong in like a way to vilify him, right? Like you said, he's at the highest level, and even he's snapping. But it's something I don't know. I know the feeling personally, just the anger that I felt that I described this weekend, right? Where they're not going to follow the basic structure. They can't even understand. They think that the leadership lied to them the whole time about the virus. The whole thing was a scam. That's basically what they said. Oh, it was fake all along. They think everyone lied. They aren't capable of retaining basic facts. This is what man is. Man is the worst. Man is the worst. Just kill us all now. End the experiment. I hate the experiment. I don't know why I'm a part of it. I don't know why I care enough to want to mitigate the suffering. I hate it. This is just make a different creature. Don't make a man. Make an angel, because what we are
like
is.
Moshe.
Yeah. I'm drawing the parallel in terms of my emotional reaction. I definitely and I think we all have moments like this where whatever form of leadership that we have, and you feel like you're a leader in a position. I'm sure Eddie, you feel it. Merle, you feel it. Trying to help someone so much. You're trying to show them something that would be good for them. Trying to do something, and they can't even, and you're just like, oh my God. I always complain about this. I sell different educational programs, right? I have one program that I'm selling this summer called 50 Days of Making. It's an elective course where people will make art every day, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm offering it at a cheap price just to get people something to do this summer, right? That product can't get very many people to buy because they don't perceive a need, and it asks them to do something. But then SAT prep, right? They think there's a need, and I alleviate it. Well, that I could sell to thousands and thousands of people across the country, right? So you can't even give them the thing that's good for them. And you're just like, I'm trying to be idealistic here, but if you're not idealistic with me, then what do you want me to do? I have to give you what you want. And we're going to see the leaders do this in Shalach, right? These are the leaders that come under Moshe and say the people don't want Moshe's vision. They want bad, and so they'll give them what they want, right? And you see that with leadership very, very often, right? And I think that's part of what's great about Moshe is that he could just say, all right, and tell the people, yeah, let's go back or whatever, and do whatever it is to keep the power, right? But he doesn't do that. He doesn't give the people what they want, which is what you have now. They say, defund the police. It's a terrible idea. No one would say defund the police is the opposite of the solution. The solution is give more funds to the police, train the police. Doesn't mean there's not an issue, right? But people like defund the police. Let's just write defund the police then. Let's tell them that we are the defund the police candidate, right? Because that's what they like. Let's run the numbers. Oh, it says that they support this cause. Okay. And then you get up and you just say, this is the cause, right? And the leadership is nothing. The leadership doesn't stand for anything, right? So that's, I think, the pole of Moshe. Who Moshe would rather die. He said, kill me then. I'm not going to play this game. I know what I stand for. And at least that's admirable. All right, let's continue. Vayomer Adonai Moshe.
Hold on, I think we didn't, this is like, Moshe is like suicidal there. I think we got to pay attention to that for a second.
Okay, give it to us.
Give that some weight. Yeah, and understand that we were putting Moshe on such a high level, but we didn't understand that perhaps like he's human too. People feel things like that. Like, and in that I read something very interesting by Rabbi Sachs. Like in that loneliness, he was able to connect to God. Like he wasn't alone, and it can feel very alone, especially in positions of leadership at the top. But like through that aloneness, almost he connected. He was, because God in a way is alone, right? We are never alone. We're always with him. It's kind of cool.
Love that. Beautiful. Okay, good. Vayomer Adonai Moshe, Esvali Shivim Ish Miziknei Israel. Gather me 70 people. Asher Yadata Ki Hem Ziknei Am V'Shoterav. You know that they're top-ranking people. Lakachta Otam El Moed V'Tyasebu Sham Emach. And you'll bring them and fine. V'Yarati V'Dibarti Emecha Sham. And I'll come down, and this is interesting. I'll draw upon the spirit that's on you and put it on them. Not I'm going to put my spirit on them. I'm going to take off from you, which we're going to see. There's going to be issues of jealousy, potential issues of jealousy, right? And this I love. God's finally savage. Sanctify. And then there's the best part. You're not going to eat for just one day, not two. Velo hamisha yamim, and not just for 5 days. Velo asara yamim, not for 10, not 20. This is like the not 1, not 2, not 3. Right, Jill? You can make a meme of me. Oh, by the way, it's a meme. Jill, I gave it to you. Grape Jews boys. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. When God, how many days is Bnei Israel going to get to eat fasad?
I love it.
Add me to the account. Ad chodesh yamim, up until 30 days. Ad asher yetzeh me'apechem, until it comes out of your nose. Vayel lachem lezara, and it becomes disgusting. Yan ki me'astem et Adonai asher b'kibechem v'titku lefanav lemor lama ze yasanu mitzrayim. So this is like almost teasing them. You're not going to eat it for 1 day. You're not going to eat it for 2 days, not 5, not 10, until you're throwing it up. I'm going to give it to you. It's I'm happy. I'm like, yes, please give him 30 days of the meat, So Vayon Moshe Sheshmat El Tragli, and then here Moshe really, this is a slip. Now you see how far Moshe has slipped. And again, he's as high a level as you could get, but he says there's 600,000 people, and you said basad for a chodesh. Hason b'kay yishachet la'im masalayim. If I get every sheep there is, I take every single fish in the sea. There's not enough. It's not enough. How could I? And Moshe now is even in doubt. You said you're going to give it to them for 30 days. That's making it worse. Why do you have to do that? Why can't we just do something else? Tell them no or something like that. Don't make me. I can't promise them that and not deliver on the promise. Shuts him down. Is there a limit to my power? You'll see whether it happens. And does it end up happening? Does it end up happening? The 30 days? Michael Franco, does it happen?
Does it happen that he brings down the silav?
30 days worth of meat?
Right?
Yeah, does he? He gives him 30 days?
I don't remember. I know they have silav.
I don't know if it's 30 days.
The meat was still stuck
Yeah.
in their teeth when they started to die.
Yeah, they die right away. So I don't know. The whole thing is weird. Why did he make the promise that he's going to stuff their faces for 30 days? And then
why does Moshe doubt God also? I think that's
why does Moshe doubt God? That's huge.
But it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense because Moshe is stuck in this rut of it's almost like, why'd you take him out here to die? And then, I feel like Moshe is doubting Hashem from the beginning, so it makes sense that it would just, the path would continue for him to say, what power do you have to even feed them for a month? Like, if you can't even keep them alive now.
Moshe has become infected, it seems like, by the nation. That's what it seems like. And it's natural, right? If the people keep questioning the leader, keep questioning, what's going to happen? You're going to panic. You'll say, okay, maybe you can't. And now he's echoing their complaints to God, right? So that's a natural question that they're going to ask, right? They're going to ask right away when he says, by the way, you're going to get 30 days of meat. They're going to be like, how are we going to get 30 days of meat? That's impossible, Moshe. You know that's impossible, right?
So I took it from another angle.
Go for it.
When I noticed it. So he says, you can pull up the words. They're really cool. He says, I'm going to give them, Moshe's complaining, if I gave them all the fish of the sea and slaughtered all the flocks, would it be enough for them? Because they're complaining like they're never going to be satisfied. In a way, Moshe could give them all this, and he still thinks they won't be satisfied. That whole concept of, in Shema, of chalta v'savata. And then I don't think Moshe is doubting God here. I think Moshe is doubting the nation. Like, you couldn't even give them enough meat. I don't even think 30 days would be.
Right. It's a nice way to.
And then God says, well, you doubt my power.
Right, but God's not going to end up convincing them, so it wouldn't be such a good response. But I agree with you. It's a nice way to read it, that it doesn't matter if we give them everything. Maybe you say, why give them the meat? Let's not give them the meat. Why do we have to give them the meat then? Right? Tell them no. Right? Now we're going to give in to them? Okay. Vayaseh Moshe v'daber la'am, vayasov shebim ish, vayered Adonai be'anan, v'yiten min haruach, and they start having nivuah, and this is a whole nother story. I'd love to get into it, but I want to get to the next thing. And they start getting it. And he says there's these people in Yehoshua, and Caleb says, Kilayim, put them in jail. They can't have nivuah. They're not you. And Moshe replies, Hamkaneh atali, are you jealous for me? So Moshe is magnanimous here. He does not jealous about his authority. He's not trying to prevent it. Yehoshua and Caleb are jealous for him, which this is the opposite of any politician. Any other politician, if the answer was get more people, no, this is a disaster, right? Moshe would want to maintain his singular grasp on it, but Moshe doesn't. And I think that's why this is all okay in a certain sense, because if Moshe was seeking for his own power, right, and that's why he's complaining, then okay, flawed, right? He was arguing for his own ego, to feel like he was better than them, or something like that. Then flawed. But Moshe he wants more people. He doesn't care. Take away from my authority. Give it to more people. Bring in more help. I need more help, And when that's what the cry is, then that's a different kind of cry. And that's, I think, what really elevates Moshe. So I think that's nice. And then the thing comes, and they bring the selav, and the vayakom ha'am, and they eat it. And the habasar odenu ben shenehem, it's just in their teeth. And ve'af Adonai hara ba'am, vayach ba'am, makara ba me'od. And they call it kibrot ta'ava. And that's the end of that story. So powerful story. Moshe is shaky on the leadership, but still at the end, I think is justified in that he wants more help. He's not doing it for his own selfish reasons. And God is not merciful. And I think that's, Moshe was kind of right in a certain sense, but Moshe shouldn't die. But the people that were complaining, it was a capital offense in God's eyes. So that's that. So I want to go to the next story, but we're going to read it very much in the context of the discussion that we've been having. So we're in Shelach, and you guys know this story, so we'll go through it a little bit quickly, just so that we could continue to discuss it in this vein. So we did the Shelach story. We saw Moshe's leadership there, and now we're in Shelach. Send these people. Moshe again. Here the order originates from God, right? We know in Devarim the order originates from the people. There's probably space between these two where the people wanted it and their intentions became known. But and they list all their names. They seem like good guys. Shaphat ben Hori, right? Yigal, very nice sounding names. And he tells them which way to go up. So when you look at what he says, check out, is the nation strong or weak? Is it small or many? Is it a good land or a bad land? That's a radical question to say that they should ask. You can imagine it's a good land. So what's the mission? What do you guys read the mission as? Why are they sending these people?
Wait, could you clarify? Is this like all these questions? These are coming from Moshe, or it's coming from Hashem?
Yeah, Moshe. Not from Moshe. What type of questions are these?
Tactical questions.
Tactical questions, right? It's a military operation. Let's go find out the weaknesses. Hatobahi imra'a, that's a little bit strange, right? And hayesh ba'etzim ayin. Some of these would seem like already the questions are problematic, I would think. Michael Franco, do you find the questions to be problematic?
What do you mean by problematic?
God told him to take the land. You're going to check if the trees are good there. If it's a tactical mission, it's a tactical mission.
But I think that's part of the tactical mission. No, because I'm getting yelled at. Part of the tactical mission is to see if you have, trees around, maybe to eat from, maybe to cut down, to build weapons or something. It could still be in the context of practically, conquering it. I don't see it necessarily as pertaining to the land itself. It's more about, yeah, does it have food? Are you going to be able to eat the food there while you're attacking?
Okay, so you view the whole thing as tactical.
That seems to undermine Hashem. If he says this is the greatest land in the world, then why are you even questioning it now?
Right, so Michael's saying that it's part of the tactics. But you asked my question, and then Michael answered that he thinks it's part of the tactics. I don't know that I see that. What about Hatovahi Imra'a, Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. You saying Moshe is setting them up?
I don't know. It's not. It seems like the operation is doomed for failure. That's I think part of the.
Just by raising the question, you're saying it's raising a doubt in their mind.
Hatovahi imra'a. That shouldn't be one of the questions. It should be only strictly tactical questions. Fine. Then I
Yeah,
understand.
how are the people living? Are they, yeah, I hear your point.
Right, and I think the reason that we've been taught that it's tactical is to take the blame off of Moshe because it was a tactical mission that they turned into a qualitative evaluation. Okay, interesting. Not the focus of today's class, but something interesting. Vayalu vayaturu ta'aretz, vayalu banegeb, achiman sheshai v'tamai yilidei ha'anak. Mike, we know they say the anak is giants, but it's not from the Peshat. Is that true?
I think it's the Peshat just means giants. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think that they were ridiculous. I think like you look at Og, it says that his bed was like a certain amount of amot, and like some guy that plays in the NBA would barely fit in his bed, like that kind of thing. So when we say giants, it doesn't mean he's 30 feet. Okay, maybe it was like 8 feet.
Giants
like,
compared to Jews.
Exactly. Maybe he was like 7 feet, 8 feet. If you really push, it was 6'12", something like that.
He's a big guy.
Sorry,
right.
7 feet.
Fine, but what about this claim that they take one grape and they had to carry it on a frame borne by two of them?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
I don't know. The fruit's giant.
To me, it seems like poetic exaggeration, but I don't know. Maybe that's from their perspective. I don't know.
Right, it's weird. So they're having some kind of encounter.
I don't know.
Fine. וישוב מתור הארץ וילכו ויבואו משה ואל אהרון וישיבו אותם דבר. And they, for some reason, this is everyone points this out as a flaw. Moshe sent them on a reconnaissance mission, and they come back and announce it to the whole nation. That's obviously problematic, right? That's not the place for this information to be disseminated. So a good question, how much of the information, like in a democracy, we think, yeah, everything needs to be shared with the people, right? But maybe not, right? You don't come back from the military mission and tell everyone exactly the odds. Maybe you keep it to yourself, could be. So it is a good land. Ephes, however, strong nation, answering the questions though. Fortified walls, these giants. Amalek, who already whooped us once, Yoshev Beret Haneged, Vachiti, Vaibusi, Vamori, Yoshev Bahad. Vayas Kalev Tamba Kalev jumps in and says, no, Alona Alevi Arashon Taki Yachon Nuchala, we could do it. Vanashim Asher Alui Mohamedu, Lonuchal, no, we can't. Ki Hazaku Mimenu. Vayosiu Dibata Aretz Asher Taruota, Elbenes Asher Taruota, Elbenes Lemor, Aretz, Asher Banu Balatur, Eret Ochelet Yoshebeha, Vekola Amashir Ainu Vitachan Shemidar. Now they lost the chains. It's a land that eats its inhabitants. Now we got the media going wild, right? The media's got hold of the story, and whoever can tell the most dramatic story is the best, right? So, but I saw the land eat one of the inhabitants. Oh, the land, and the people are getting crazy and starting to get riled up, and then they go, oh, let's make even more radical of a claim. And now we're on the point, you go on CNN, it's always breaking news. You turn on the channel, it won't once ever not say breaking news. Important announcement. You can never figure out what an important announcement is. By the way, we talked about why people think Corona is fake, not fake. Part of it is because the media is the boy who cried wolf, right? Let's yell out, breaking news, breaking news. Anytime we could yell out breaking news, the people are already, it can't be breaking news again, so you can't even tell them when the news broke or when the news didn't break. They're already, so that's what's going on here though. But you start crying. And of course it's Moshe and Aaron. I wish we just died. And now this is a direct attack against Moshe and Aaron, right? ויפול משה ואהרון על פניהם לפני כל קהל עדת ישראל, and Yoshua, they tear their clothes. ויאמרו כל בני ישראל, הארץ אשר עברנו בה על תורתה ארץ טובה היא מאוד, and they give the speech, don't rebel, and after their beautiful speech, don't rebel. And they're like, oh, beautiful, let's stone him. We'll just bring him up and we'll stone him. So it's a bad story. The part that I want to look at quickly, and then we'll wrap up, is that now Hashem tells Moshe, David, let me just get rid of them. Now, to me, that has to be the most alluring offer that Moshe could have possibly gotten, right? After the people questioned his leadership again for the 10th time. And this attack was personal. The meat wasn't personal. They didn't even turn to Moshe. Here they turned on Moshe. They argued. They said we should get rid of him, right? Now, Hashem goes to Moshe and he tells them, let me just, use your kids. You're a superior being. Let's get rid of the rest of them, and we'll start from you. Does anyone find that to be as alluring as I find it, or is that particularly narcissistic of me?
I agree with you.
Can you repeat that? Sorry, Mo. What's narcissistic?
Okay, so
just in summary, sorry. I heard everything else. Yeah.
Hashem tells Moshe, I'm going to make a nation from you. Let me get rid of them. They're faulty. I'll make just from your kids the new nation.
So is that narcissistic? Yeah.
Is it narcissistic of me to say that I would find that very alluring? That to me is.
I would say yes, for sure.
It's narcissistic of me.
Without
it's
question.
Not narcissistic of you. It is alluring. I agree.
It's alluring.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm focusing on the wrong thing. That's true.
Yeah.
It's alluring. Yes.
Ezra, let's say God told you. You know what? You're right.
Morris, you're okay.
Bad.
You're okay.
The people are bad, Ezra, and it's got to be your lineage that's going to take us. You know, and you'd be like,
I don't. Okay, so it depends, right? I mean, I guess on the surface it's alluring on the surface, but if you think about it, it's like Moshe is on such a high level. You have all these people. The people are a project. So if you can actually succeed with them, that's a much higher achievement.
And even then, right, assuming that the people of Moshe, this was what Moshe wanted originally, though, last story, right, where Moshe was crying, where he said, just kill me, where he said, there's no point, the project failed, right? Now Hashem's basically saying, let me take you, Moshe, and it'll be a generation of angels. And
But don't forget, he had just said about Moshe, "Haish Moshe anav mikol adam," just last week, I think, right?
Yeah, correct.
So
exactly. So Moshe is able to.
You expect him to say, you expect Moshe's answer to be no.
Right. And that is his answer. Exactly. But I think it shows that Moshe really has come full circle, that the bout of depression, however short it was, right, first of all, was not self-motivated at all. Because if it was, then the time that they attacked him personally this time, right, that they threatened to usurp his leadership would be the one where he was angry at them, where that's not the case. He was upset when they were displaying their humanity and just wanting meat, right? That's when he was done. So that's very impressive.
Again, it would never be about him. It would never be about usurping his leadership. He didn't care for any of that.
So I'm saying we're seeing that borne out through these stories. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that when he did get angry, it wasn't from the place of arrogance. It was and because when Hashem offers him this, that's not what he wants. That's never what he wanted, right? And like Ezra said so nicely, that to succeed with these people, with man as it is the highest level. And so he says, he calls into to question his beri with Abraham. And the fact that the different nations are going to see, and he tells them, Hashem erech hapayim, he calls into it, right? V'rab chesed, noseh avon, v'nakeh, poked avon avor, abanim, salachna la'avon ha'amazeh kegoda chastecha, v'chasher nasat alahem mitzrayim atena, v'yomer Adonai salachti kitbarecha. So that's the beautiful thing. So just to wrap it up, full circle, and then we'll end with this. So we looked at what's happening currently and how it's easy to be any person in any position of leadership to look at what's going on and become frustrated with the behavior of people. I personally find it infuriating. This weekend I was really a mess. I'm sure all of you are dealing with some degree of it. And for the more you try to help, I think the more frustrated that you end up finding yourself. I think that we see Moshe deal with some version of that, and we really get the biggest lesson of all from the pairing of the two stories, that if it is the case that you're in a position of leadership, right, and you find yourself growing frustrated with the people, as we see Moshe do, it's imperative that the frustration doesn't come from a place of arrogance, right? That it's not motivated by ego, and that it's motivated by humbleness, in fact, and a great desire to help. And so it's such a tricky thing, leadership, because on the one hand, most people that end up in leadership realize that it's a thankless job, and it's a lot of work, and you don't really find much fruit in it. And but on the other hand, it's, the other thing that drives people towards leadership is obviously ego, right? And that's natural. And when it's leadership driven by ego, what you see is people like the Nassim that are just subverting what's good for the people in order to continue to glorify, to get more votes. You can see that happening in the political system now. You can see that happening in the narrative now, right? Where there's no real leadership. It's just a parrot back what's going on. And so it just needs to always continue to be motivated by what's good for the people. And we see that really with Moshe in his leadership, that even when he does get angry with them, it's not in the cases that's personally attacking his leadership. And even then, he's able to come and forgive the people again and again and again, time and time again. We need to think of ourselves from the perspective of the leaders, and also from the perspective of the people. In what way are we like Bnei Israel that just continue to sin time and time again, when God is so merciful with us and gives us so much leeway and so much room to continue to be better? And when do we just start crying and complaining and panicking? I know this weekend when I was angry, I was almost the same thing, right? I'm just panicked and crying to Hashem. Oh, it wasn't good enough. I had a 28 years of incredible living, of the fruits of the world, and a challenging few months, and already you're jumping ship, right? So we all have elements of that. We have very short memory. We don't remember the miracles. We don't remember the miracles every day. We don't remember all the moments of love. So as we're going through this hard time, realize that this is the story of man, that we're in a battle to be man, and also to be able to rise above, that we're going to be leaders who are frustrated at times. We're going to be people who are scared at times. But that at the end of the day, we stay focused, we stay on the path, keep pushing forward. And hopefully one day we'll find ourselves in the promised land, in a utopian version of the world that we could build together. And that's obviously always the dream.
Hazak Baruch.
Amen.
Anyone have anything to add?
I would ask about Moshe, if you have any, I want to zero in on the humility if we can for a little bit, because it seems like that's the redeeming quality that really just allows him to get through the hard times. But I want to talk about, what people think, humility is. A lot of times, it's not speaking up, this and that. I just think that it doesn't mean that he was also at all downcast or meek. I think people I don't think people, we don't talk about it enough. And I think that's the old, it's like his saving grace in a situation like this. So, if you have anything to say on that.
About the difference between
what humility is, and yeah.
Maybe someone else has something to say, but on the difference between humility and being meek or something like that.
I don't know, I think it's something very tricky to pin down, because in no sense is it external. I guess with any emotion, but you could seem so outwardly humble, but then on the inside it's a different story. And I feel like it's like an internal process that everyone has to take. I don't know that there's an end-all be-all word about humility.
Right, it could be different steps for different people.
Yeah, to me, what stands out in this story is that it wasn't motivated by his own ego or his own desire. If for a second he would have said yes to that, which I think is the most alluring thing God could say to you. Maybe I'm a narcissist, like I said, but to me, if God came down and said, I'm going to make the people from you, or everyone else. You could see clearly there's something wrong with them. You know, you are the one. Yeah, that's I'd imagine everyone would see, like, oh, you're right. You know, if God, especially if God told you that, you know, and it was clear that you were superior, as in the case with Moshe, right? Maybe if it's not clear you're a murderer, you might realize something's wrong, right? But assuming that you're a pretty good person, you know, so if anyone who is motivated by ego, this would be the ultimate praise of them possible. I mean, if God says, I'm going to make the world from you, you know, and we see so many people that you fight for your family, you put your family first, you put your loved ones first, you know, that is that myth of the trying to perpetrate, trying to build your own ego and trying to build a world of you. And I think what we see here is the humbleness is that he wasn't, that's not what he was after. He wanted to be a part of the bigger picture. He wanted to just be a string, and he didn't want to be the whole thing. So something like that.
Well, maybe that's why Hashem only asks Moshe this, because he knows the answer is going to be no.
Right. Yeah, only the person deserving, the only person that could be deserving to be asked this is the one who would say no to it.
Like, I'm trying to think about Abraham. If did Hashem ever ask Abraham if he wanted to be the father of the nation, or he just told him?
Yeah, he told him that you're gonna have great children, but he didn't say, here he said, I'm gonna wipe everyone out and then start from you. You know, I don't think Noah, he said that too, and that's why they criticized Noah in some ideas, right? That he should have protested because Noah got that.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's gonna be only you. Now it's gonna be only you. And
But you
Abraham
say,
resisted that with Sodom. Yeah, go ahead, Isaac.
Noah bedoro keftah bedoro. You know, Noah is said that's the best they had then.
Exactly. So he didn't resist. He didn't remember they said, or some people say he built the ark
He
for
was
40
very passive.
passive. Right. Whereas Abraham went and he argued on behalf of Sodom. He wasn't trying he wasn't trying to replace everyone.
And Moshe says absolutely not. You know, so those are the, you know, Noah was for his time, according to what the rabbis say, he was the best that was there, which is a very sad commentary on his times, which the Torah is trying to bring out, I think, in that story.
Right. There was a moment where just one man was actually good. Then there was a time where Abraham was the best.
And he would be fair in other times.
Right.
Compare him to Moshe, compare him to Abraham. He's just fair, you know.
Right, but still, his distance between him, it was true that they needed to get rid of everyone, and only he merited to have the whole world come from him. He was basically Adam 2.0.
Right.
So it's a high level. Then Abraham, he's great. He's going to have a great progeny, but you know, there's other people that could be kept around. And then in Moshe's case, right, we're moving further and further. There's a whole nation now of people that are chosen. And I guess one day, the whole world. The last thing I would say, and then I want to end with this, is that as we start thinking about our place in the world around us, right? Is it that it's just us, and that if God said to us, you are the only nation, let me wipe out the rest of the world and make you Am Gadol, right? The Jews, let's just start again with us. Would we say yes to that question? And you could see from some of our behavior that, yeah, we would say yes. The rest of the world, the Behemoth, let's just kill them all. Let's just start again with the Jews, right? And I think Moshe's answer and Abraham's answer is no, we want to be a part of it. We don't have the big ego. We want to be a part of this bigger tapestry. And that's a nice thing to end with, I think. All right, thank you guys so much for coming. Really, I love spending time with you guys, even though it's not in person, and it's really amazing. I'm so grateful every time I get to give a class. So thank you guys. It was amazing, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Morris.
Thank you, Morris. Good night.
Bye, guys. Yes, Eddie, what's going on? Tell me.